can grab the book and show it.
I do, yeah.
And actually, your copy is better than my copy. So.
Oh wow, that's a rarity.
Hmm.
All right. So today's book for book club was my choice, and I went with the incredible Green Hawk.
First
Um,
appearance of the Green Hulk
yeah. Who
First
cares about
appearance of the Toadman.
that gray
and the
Hawk?
Toadmen.
Last appearance, shocker. First and last appearance of the Toadman. First Green Hawk.
They
Last
could have done some more with the Toadman, I think, but they didn't.
Toadmen and Molemen are very similar, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I
That's
wish.
that Hulk Tua.
Yeah. Now hold on one second.
To a
I'll crack
girl.
this right open. All right. Here we go. No, I'm kidding. I'm not gonna break my slab. All right. Let's get into the review. My Bizook. Let's make it where we can see. Oh yeah. By the way, Chad, it's Big Alan's birthday. So happy birthday to Alan.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for coming on. Thank you everybody for coming on. All right, let's get this party started. I don't know what these guys thought about it. That's why we're here. No sneak attacks. Nobody has any idea of how we feel about the book. So I'm just going to jump in. I don't know what these guys think. I'm going to give my honest review. So I had my buddy 90 at MF Comics read this to me a long time ago, and I read it twice because I felt like I should try to understand what the hell's going on here. It's not super complicated. There's a lot of shit going around. There is quite a bit of information to retain, I believe. What up, Beckerman? What up, GT? So I got this app of it, and I can't blow up the words in it, so the letters are kind of small. I think this would be the kind of book that would be better to be in hand. Like, if you had this in hand, it would probably read better. That's what I was thinking while I was reading it. So, the Hulk, right? This is straight out of Hulk 1. I was planning on reading Hulk 1 also. This is the first splash panel you get, and he's all already green. And he's kind of coming out of the terror he gave the townsmen, I guess, right? That's what they're preluding. And he's beating the shit out of people in town.
Yeah, such a jerk.
Yeah, he's kind of a jerk, ain't he? He's like just beating her ass. But the Hulk he's able to talk and shit, though. I've seen it.
He talks actually quite a lot.
Yeah,
I know. I think he's better. Like, he seems more intelligent here as the Hulk than he does later.
Smart, right? He says he don't say like nonsensical like animal shit. Like he says like normal shit. Like he's almost smart, So we're going with the you can't even say Frankenstein. What is it? Werewolf mode? Like he only turns into the creature.
It's weird. He's like a werewolf, I guess.
Yeah, it's not. You think Frankenstein, but it's kind of like werewolf mode because.
Well, no, it's not even. It's not even a werewolf because werewolves only turn with full moon.
But he just
full moon
every night.
Yeah, he's at night. Always turns into.
It's almost like the lack of sunlight.
Yeah, the sunlight makes him turn human again, and the moonlight turns him into the Hulk. Go on, bud. You gotta shut the door. I'm doing.
Hi, Brandon.
So, gamma rays are light rays, right?
Gamma rays are they're purple. They're on the ultraviolet end of the spectrum.
So
go ahead.
So the idea is maybe light, because he was made into the Hulk through gamma rays. Maybe the logic is that light will.
Well, we get a
I don't know. I'm just trying
we get a rehashing of his origin in the first couple pages, which is convenient because it does say like he threw Rick Jones out of the way of the gamma blast and he absorbed all of it. And Rick is kind of a tiny guy, he's like a little kid still. I kind of thought he was an adult until I read it a couple times. And sorry?
Terrible teen.
And they figure out together that he turns into the Hulk, and Bruce Banner's like, you got to get away from me, man. I'm dangerous. And Jones is like, I'm not going to. You saved my life. We're going to see through this together. So Rick Jones is already kind of playing the assistant at this point, you know? And
He's a sidekick.
he kind of talks to him while he's the Hulk, which is a very fucking dangerous thing to do. So here comes the Toadmen and their Toad ship, like in between them trying to figure out what they're going to do with the Hulk. You know, Rick Jones and Banner's trying to figure out what we're going to do with the Hulk, you know. And the Toadmen are invading Earth too. So there's a bunch of shit going on all at once.
I particularly like their puny humans.
Yeah, they're looking. I don't know why they're coming to Earth. Is it because of magnetic pull?
They're trying to no. The magnetic pull
they
is
want
what
to
they
take over
use.
the planet.
They want to take over the planet. The magnetic pull is their weapon.
Yeah.
So they're using a magnetic pull, and it just coincidentally is coming towards Earth, and they're coming towards Earth.
No,
and
not
they're going to take,
coincidentally. They're doing it on purpose.
well, that's what I'm saying. Like it's not like. I mean, were they predicting this, or were they on the way anyway? Is kind of how I feel. Like, yeah, I felt like they were already coming no matter what, because the magnetic pull was kind of
No,
going
it's not
towards
that
this
they were
planet.
attracted to Earth. They found Earth and they were going to conquer it. And then they used the magnetic pull.
There you go.
Like they actually shot a ray at the Earth.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So they're attracted to Hulk and Rick Jones for some fucking reason. They want to take
they want to find how advanced humans are. So they want
Okay.
to know what the scientific level is of the Earth. So they want to ask who is the smartest person on the planet, what your status, what your
And
scientific
since-
level is at.
And since it's 11 years before I was born, they went with Bruce Banner.
But that is interesting. They went with Bruce Banner and not Reed Richards, or
Yeah.
like they in this book
So
they
basically,
called.
this is saying, Bruce Banner is the smartest.
Yeah,
person.
they searched out after someone smart, so they were attracted to Banner and they wanted him, right?
Yes.
It's
That's
just
what
magnetic.
I fucking said. Y'all said no, they wanted him. Whatever. All right. So they come and get him. They were getting ready to lock themselves up. They get abducted into. So they have this giant concrete wall that's their plan. Like they're going to put themselves behind this wall, or Hulk behind the wall, and Jones is going to stay outside of it, and hopefully that'll contain him while he's a Hulk, right?
Yep.
And while they're doing that, they get abducted, and they're like, "Oh shit, we're getting pulled into space," you know. And here they come. They're in there, right? And there's 4 parts to this comic, and they determined that they don't need Rick Jones. He's just a little puny fucker, right? They keep the Hulk.
Yeah.
Lucky them, you know. You think you got somebody that's smart. You also got one of the baddest fucking superhero animals in the history of fucking time. So he turns into the Hulk while he's on the spaceship. Okay.
He
And
even looks like Frankenstein.
oh yeah,
It's kind
definitely.
of like Frankenstein. Monster. Frankenstein's monster.
Yeah.
So they got him. These little toad guys don't know what the fuck they're in for. The Hulk comes out. He gets one of their guns, and this is what I'm talking about. Like he's talking to him like a normal
I know.
fucking guy. It's like that was so
And
impressive
even
to me.
he even talks about how their weapons are really great and stuff.
Yeah, he's like already smart and shit. The development of the Hulk in just this one issue from one. If he would have stayed this way, we would never got the dumb Hulk. We would never got intelligent Hulk. They must have adapted. I don't know where, maybe 3 through 6 or after that, but I guess you got to get them all and read them all to know. But so he's very smart. Like he's not like grunting and moaning. He's like talking to these guys, and he whoops their ass. And the fucking the UFO or saucer comes flying down, right? And the government is like, oh shit, we got them, let's go see what these people are, who they are, or whatever,
Mhm.
And they all like burrow underneath the fucking ground, and all that's left is Banner, right? So Banner's like getting blamed for all the Toadmen's fucking problems because the Toadmen burrowed underneath the ground and got away. Okay. And So he gets locked up, and what's his name? Thunderbolt Patterson, or where the fuck? Ross Thunderbolt or something. Is that
Thunderbolt Ross.
Thunderbolt Ross. There you go. And his daughter are like
Betsy Ross.
Betsy Ross. Yeah.
They're like main characters in this thing. Betsy Ross is kind of the love interest, I would believe.
Yes.
And
when she's not
Thunderbolt,
busy sewing the flag.
Thunderbolt's like the only army man that has half a brain. Like all these other army, there's no one around that has a brain. Obviously, I don't know why the army's so dumb, but
It's
it seems
not
pretty
they're dumb. It's just that most of them are probably used to taking orders and they don't think for themselves much.
Yeah.
I think that's the low point of the comic is how stupid the army is. Like they had the Hulk, they had Banner in a cage, right? Banner turns into the Hulk and smashes out.
But they don't know Banner's the Hulk. So
Yeah, they don't.
Well, how don't you know if you had the man caged?
No, they don't know because they just
No,
don't
Alan.
after.
He knows that they don't know. He thinks it's dumb that they didn't figure it out.
yeah.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, well yeah, it's dumb that you're right.
That's the low point of the comic to me is the army can't figure that out.
Yeah, that
Okay.
should have been like, oh yes, you're right.
Okay. So the army's fucking silly and dumb, and I mean that's like obvious to me. Like Banner's in the cage. I mean, at one
There's
point
nobody
later,
else in the cage. There's no Hulk in the cage, so therefore,
No, yeah,
it
I
has to be
mean-
Banner is the Hulk. Yes.
at least Thunderbolt later says, "You guys are like
They
2
seem
and
connected,
1 or
yeah.
something." Yeah, he says that at the end. So that I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, he's halfway smart, but how don't they know?" You know.
That is kind of a good question.
So the King Toad comes, and he's like, "All right, we're gonna come and avenge our little mishap with the Hulk whooping our ass." I don't even think he acknowledges that, but they're still going to try to conquer the world, and they're coming still. So the only reason they may not know that there was a distraction. So while the Hulk was in
But
the
there were
jail,
still the two guards in front of the thing.
right?
Yeah.
That makes the army men look really dumb, but
Yes.
that's I guess what they expect us to lean on is, okay, we got the distraction of the fucking Toadmen are coming, so they took their attention off the Bruce Banner situation, and everybody's kind of going after the Toadmen or whatever. So here comes the nighttime. Werewolf Hulk is like, "Oh, I'm about to Hulk up." He busts out of the cage, and he starts beating the shit out of the military men, and the coolest part of the book was him taking down the Toadmen. There goes them. He took the colonel or general's daughter, took her away. And there was an ad of FF5 in here too, which is kind of cool. So the Hulk is beating the shit out of the army men. And he kind of has the chick with him. He takes the chick to a house. He lifts the house up like a garage door, the side of it, and puts it back. I thought that was kind of cool panel. And okay, so there was more time in between. I'm sorry, I got confused. So then, what's his name? Fucking Jones is there, and he's like,
Jones,
he's like, "Calm down, Hulk, calm down." And he does. He calms down. And he turns from the Hulk back to Banner after he fucks with the chick or whatever. Well, then Banner figures out we gotta use this big monster dope. This is probably my favorite panel. Is this Kirby mechanized gun looking art right here? I love that panel a lot. And they aim it. Oh yeah, Rick Jones splashes the army men, and then the Hulk or Banner uses the giant Kirby gun and shoots the Toadmen out of our galaxy or out of our space. They hit with a magnetic wave or gamma rays or whatever. Fuck, now they're gone. Poof, gone. And I think that's the end. Yep, that's the end of the story.
Yep.
So for me, it was kind of a convoluted story. It was a little confusing. The cover, I'm gonna give it a I'm gonna go with a 4 for the cover. 4. Okay. Inside art, I'm going to go with the 4. Panels were good to me. The story, I feel like the importance of it and the development. I didn't get to read number 1. I kind of remember what number 1 was like. It wasn't that bad. It was just a lot of shit was going on. I'm gonna go with the 3.5 for story. 3.5. And overall 3.75. 0.75. So since I started, I get to pick who's next. I'm gonna go with the birthday boy. What's up?
I was going to ask if I can go because I'm getting called by my work here.
Oh yeah, no problem.
Okay, so D's
All right, sorry, man.
it's your birthday now.
Hey, my birthday's coming up, and when it's my birthday, I'll let you go before me. Okay. Hey, I'm gonna breeze through this so that I can get to work here. They're calling me in. I enjoyed reading the book. It wasn't. If you know my style of comic books, it's not my style that I like to read. So I'll pick apart a few things. I hated how there were like 5 parts in the book, and it's all in one book.
Mm-hmm.
It's all one story. Well, why are there so many parts? Like
That's
we're
a
not.
very Silver Age thing. It seems to be.
Yeah, I hated that. Like
We've
when I
seen
saw.
how guys always keep it to 3 parts or less.
Like a piece of banana bread?
Fuck yeah, I want some banana bread. Bring it. Sorry. All right. So part 1, when I saw that, I thought that there was going to be a next issue that was part 2, and no, it was all in the same book. And this, to me, this book was kind of an example of Jack Kirby being a little overworked at the time, because you get a lot of panels where he has to draw it like that. That
simple backgrounds, simple images.
Yeah, and we all know Jack Kirby is more talented than that. Panels like this, like, what are we doing? Woo! Fucking Ric Flair. And then Biggie, you kind of called it out, man. Like I think the story was weird. So they're setting up this alien invasion from the Toadmen, but then at the same time they're dealing with the army tracking down the Hulk. And I don't think they paid either part
Enough
of that
attention.
story. Neither one of them got enough attention. So it really just was kind of disjointed and back and forth for me. Here goes a little transformation here for you. 2 more examples, in my opinion, of Kirby not really getting a lot of time to do his job.
Actually, when you do that, it actually looks pretty cool.
Yeah, but I made it look cooler than it really was.
What he just did was a clip from the 1960s Hulk cartoon where they just took Kirby images and reused them.
And then Biggie, you talked about the Hulk. He kind of started smashing the ship, and then they crashed, and man, they just so quickly jumped into the. So part 3 was like 2 pages. And then they went to part 4, where you think it's about to really start going down, right? It's gonna the Toadmen are coming. It's about to get on, and really it was the Hulk fighting soldiers, and that's where it goes into part 5. He's still fighting the soldiers that are really smart, and then you're not wrong, Biggie. The panel is really cool. The gun.
Yeah.
But the gun just got pulled out of their fucking ass.
Yeah.
Like, hey, the Toadmen are coming. Let's whip out the gun. And then they shoot the gun, and then the book is over. So,
out of them,
It countered their magnetic thingy.
Yeah.
It did. But, man, they wrapped it up really quick, man. That was worse than, like, the Ultimate Nullifier from the Fantastic Four.
It is an ultimate nullifier.
Yeah. So hey, I'm gonna give the cover. We're gonna go. I'm gonna give it a 3. I'd go a little higher, but I do not like the look of those Toadmen. That looks really. Ugh.
On the cover, the Toadmen look like the Thing wearing clothes.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Oh, like tiny things. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interior art, man. If they would have stayed with like shit like
that is
this,
pretty cool.
dude, that could be a poster.
Yeah.
You know, but then you get other art that's just not even close, and the coloring is weird throughout the book. So I'm gonna give the art a 3. Could have been better, but it's still above average in my opinion. The story, I give that a 1. I didn't like the story one bit. Overall, I'm gonna give it a 2.5.
Okay.
All right, and now I do have to go.
Your next pick.
Yeah, y'all better get ready for Avengers JLA number 2.
I was expecting that actually.
Yeah, no, I'm predictable if I'm nothing.
Yeah, I think that
Actually,
you
that's
might
a pretty
be
cool
little,
cover.
I think you might have been a little hard on the inside art. I think you picked like 3 or 4 shitty panels. There's a lot more good panels than bad.
No, but there are a lot of nothing panels too, man. Like you get shit like this. Like that ain't
actually
nothing.
like
That's
that.
not bad. That's not
like
bad.
that.
That's
So
not
there was
bad.
a couple
See, that's
panels
what I mean.
like that that I
90%
actually
of
liked.
it's fucking money,
Like
dude.
that panel I like. That panel
Yeah.
I like.
Yeah, I mean, I like Kirby's art, and I when I'm reading a Kirby book, I like it to be a little better than what happened in Hulk to a girl. But hey, I'm sorry I can't stick around and defend my scores. But I do got to get going. I got to run into work real quick. So I'll talk to you later.
All
right.
Later, bro.
Okay, see you, dude. Okay. Wow, that was interesting. So I kind of have to give context to the Hulk. So Hulk 1, he's gray, right?
Yeah.
Hulk 2, he's green. Hulk 1, they set up the story of him becoming the Hulk, which is really almost they almost set up a little bit of a sabotage in the original Hulk, where one of the other scientists is jealous of Bruce Banner.
Yes.
So there's that as well, and then Rick Jones drives out. He's like, "Oh, I'm a wild and crazy teen." He drives out, and he goes into the testing thing, and Bruce Banner's like, "Oh no, there's a kid there. He runs out and saves him." Okay.
Rick Jones makes Snapper Carr look cool.
Exactly. He's like a goober. Okay, so the point is, they set up Hulk, but they don't know what to do with the Hulk. And that's the big thing with this. So if you read 1 through 6, it's like, we don't understand this character yet. Let's figure out what this character's powers are. Let's figure out how the character's dynamics work. So first it's like, oh, he becomes Hulk at night. Second one, he's like, he actually gets, you get a hint that Rick Jones actually can control the Hulk. There's a little bit of that. In the third one, also, he can really control the Hulk, and he gets gamma rays, and then he can become Hulk during the day as well. You know, it's like all over the place. So just so you know.
Well, we should probably bring up the fact that the reason he started off gray was because of the ink was not transferring good for green. That's one of the stories that are connected to it. You know.
I actually think it's more about, because they had lots, like Stephen mentioned this, and I actually agree with it, that they had a lot of gray monsters.
Okay.
And green, if you make the monster green, like Hulk green, it stands out. It makes it more dynamic. And that's why.
Why did they start off gray?
Because they had a lot of gray monsters, and this was just like another gray monster.
Bullshit. That's bullshit.
Because gray ink costs less than green ink.
It was because it wasn't. They say that the gray ink wasn't
consistent. I know that
consistent. That's the story. Yes.
Yeah, but that's I
don't know if it's true, but that's what people say. Yes.
I know.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the problem with these early Hulks, and that's probably the reason why the series didn't continue on beyond pieces, because they really weren't 100% confident with the direction they wanted to take with the Hulk.
Well, my understanding is later they made comments about how as he went on with his life and the gamma rays changed his body, his brain shrunk a bit, but he got more control in the sense that he could be Hulk during the day. It was more when he was angry, a certain thing kicked in, and then this gamma ray. Like,
yeah, I'm not sure.
I just don't remember though if that's comic book or TV.
Yeah, so I think part of the thing is that, Hulk. They're trying to set up, like, I think they're trying to create a little bit more of the origin or setup for the character. They create this in part 2, which is this book. They create the idea of, we're gonna cage him up at night, and that's going to be the device that we're going to use to, have for the Hulk. That he's in the cage. So there's going to be something that goes awry. He's going to get released from the cage. That would be the way that they were thinking. Or
Rick Jones's commitment to be able to do that forever. I will come here every morning and let you know.
He did save his life, so he's like,
Yeah, but something? He's what, 16? He's going to forget at some point.
I think that's a pretty fun thing for a teenager to do. Like, he knows the Hulk. Like, of course he's going to want to fucking be there.
Well, and I said, he gets control over the Hulk later on. Like, he actually can.
I remember that.
Okay, so I just want that to be clear, that this is one of those books where they really haven't figured out the character. That's kind of one of the weaknesses in the writing. So the cover for me is a 2.5.
That's a fucking, you guys are tripping.
So the reason it's a 2.5 is the Hulk is kind of squished. He doesn't look like like some Hulk covers he can look really badass, and he's kind of like, but he looks kind of squished. Mm-hmm. And the Toadmen are kind of goofy looking, so it's not like it's not a great cover. If he had come through the wall looking like Hulky and smashing the wall, and that would have been really cool. So I give it a 2.5, which is an average score. To me, the way I go from 1 to 5 is, if it's an average cover, it's a 2.5. If it's above average, then it's 3. So forth. So I give it a 2.5 for the cover. You
gave hologram X-Men covers higher score than this.
Because I love gimmicks. I love gimmicky things.
I'm just saying.
Where's the hologram on this? Give me a hologram.
Those are trash compared to this. Those are trash. This is classic Silver Age. Go ahead.
With gamma rays, he should be glowing in the dark like no tomorrow.
Exactly.
I can understand bashing the story art.
Okay, but I'll get there. So the interior art, though, I give it a 3. There's panels that are awesome. There's a lot of panels that are kind of, as Dee said, they're kind of But there's a lot of, like, because they did it in 5 parts, they did splash page, splash page, splash page for each of those parts. And then there were some pretty cool panels inside. So I actually give the interior art slightly higher score. So I give it a 3. The story, though, for me, it wasn't that convoluted. I got the story. It made sense. There was a lot of things where, it didn't make sense that they were so naive to think, oh, Bruce Banner, who looks like he just got hit by a truck, stepping out of a spaceship, is all of a sudden, oh, it must have been him that was terrorizing us. It's like, what? How did you get that out of that situation? It just, so certain things like that were a little bit, and just like, actually, I didn't even clue into it. Biggie, you clued into it, where the soldiers outside should have realized that Bruce Banner is the Hulk. That's pretty obvious.
Pretty obvious.
So things like that were kind of what I would say weaknesses in the story. Also, not having the character dynamics hammered out is a weakness in the story. I give the story, I don't want to be too harsh on it, I'm going to give it a 2.5 as well. Okay, so I give the story, it's an average story. And then overall, I'm going to give it a 2.75.
Okay.
Okay.
Well,
so
Yeah, no.
Slightly above average comic.
I feel like I got on D about his what was it? The inside art, and now I'm gonna get on you about the cover. So
Well,
so
let's
for
see, Matt,
me, it's a classic Silver Age cover. I mean, you know how many covers have like TV screens and
I know
shit? Like
there's
there's
actually
so many.
elements I do like about the cover. I like this TV screen. I like the little like things like that. Actually, I think are kind of cool.
You got the main villains on the cover.
You know what cover this reminds me of? It reminds me of the one for the Doom Patrol.
Yeah,
First Doom Patrol.
It
does.
does.
Do you know what cover I'm talking about?
I do. It's a red cover. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it has like a TV screen on it.
Yeah, I got it right over there.
And the monkey or something, some
first solo series. First time with the Doom Patrol and Header or something like that, right?
Yeah.
First Evil Brotherhood, all that jazz.
Yeah.
It's a very cool. The art on the inside's cool. On the screen, it's good. This is the first time you see the Green Hawk. That's the significance of it. Even if the story
is significant, like
even if the story is trash, the development is one of the most developing issues Marvel's ever made. Like it went from Gray Hawk to Green Hawk. This is the Hawk we know. I don't know if Hawks ever did that in a second issue as much as this. It's a pretty big deal to me, but okay.
Yeah, and they are developing the character. I mean, there's good things in this. I mean, it's there's stuff that they need to do though.
My fault. All right, go ahead, Matt.
Okay, let us look at the warts of the Toadman book. Well, I'm just making that joke. I just find that it's for a book that is a big book for collectors because it's the first Green Hulk. It is very underwhelming as a comic book that would have been on the stand. And I can see if the other 5 books of this Hulk series are similar to this, I could see why it was canceled after 6 issues. Mm-hmm. Now, the positives. All the splash pages look pretty cool. Mm. The problem was, as I say all the time, there were too many.
Yeah, 5 parts was a little weird.
5 parts is a lot. Mm. Also, I would agree that in the interior of the book, both the story, there are times with the story it's like you're quite wondering where's this going next, because here they are. He was the Hulk. Now these guys are attacking the Earth. Now they're stealing them. Now he's the Hulk. Now they throw the puny human out. Now he's the Hulk. He takes down the ship. He's no longer the Hulk. It's like, what?
Yeah.
It almost feels like you've got to follow it panel by panel. Mm-hmm. So let's get to the scores here. The cover, I will actually score it a 3, more because I like the concept as opposed to the cover art. So I will give the cover a 3, and it's not Kirby's worst either. Like he's done worse covers. He's done better covers, but he's done worse covers. So actually, I like this cover more than I like the cover to Amazing Fantasy 15.
Out of 1 to 6, it's pretty good. Out of Hulk 1 through 6, I'd say this is the second best cover.
I really like Amazing Fantasy 15's cover.
Amazing Fantasy 15 just maybe it's because I'm not a huge Spider-Man guy, but I understand the significance. Don't get me wrong.
No, I just like the dynamic pose, and he's got the person saving.
Okay. Listen, when you've lifted a car over your head, everything else is kind of bad after that. Okay. But I'm just teasing. So the interior art had some great moments and had some not so great moments. I would agree with D that there seems to be a little Kirby drop-off. But the panels that Kirby had space and possibly time because he had space were a lot better for his figures, like the splash pages, and his technology has always been.
Yeah, he's good at gadgeting things.
I don't think anybody draws gadgets like Kirby does.
Hmm.
Okay, so because of the overall, there's more better than less. I'm actually going to give it a 3.5. And I
Wow.
admit I'm a little biased because it's Kirby.
Okay.
Now let's go after the writing. Over the years, I've been convinced that Stan Lee is the biggest hack writer who's ever made it big. This book does nothing to convince me otherwise. He reuses the same phrases like puny humans too often. He is way too into alliteration. And sometimes he just leaves gaping holes in the plot. And like, for example, where did this gun come from? Boom. Oh, here's a gun we need.
Well, yeah. Well, they kind of. It's the gun that he was working on in the very first thing that made him the Hulk.
Yes, but at the same time, it works now. like, it does, like this is my point. It's just like there's a little too much Deus Ex Machina at the end, and like, oh wait, it's over.
Well, it's the same that they did in Fantastic Four.
I mean,
right?
it was pretty action packed, and with the plain backgrounds, it was kind of foreshadowing because you got an Incredible Hulk in front of you, so of course the focus is on that.
And
They're not
to
really
be
focusing on
honest,
the back of a wall.
if they had focused on, now I know that's not the comic way, but if part 1 and 2 he goes away from the army, part 3 and 4 let's introduce the Toadman, what they're doing, and then take care of it, and then part 5 wrap everything up, I think the story would have been better, because at least in those little bits they could have concentrated more. It felt a little, because it was like, oh yeah, I got to do something with these now, and then two pages, now back to this 2 pages, and it felt a little disjointed. I get it's early in Lee, but Lee has been writing since the 30s at this point.
Yeah.
So it just, to me, Stan Lee is a hack, and I give the writing a 1.5 in this one. However, due to its significance, this is again one of those books that I would say is greater than the sum of its parts, and I will give it a 3.5 overall, because it's still pretty damn cool.
I think anything under a 4 shouldn't be. Anything around a 4 shouldn't be that surprising, because it's a fucking Jack Kirby book. Like, it's pretty normal that he gets a high score, especially around this time. But
And yes, Karen,
all right,
Lady Fantastic, he really does talk like a 40s man, 40s radio guy.
the story was a little dumb in a couple parts, but for me, mostly, it was an action-packed story. A lot of things were going on, but you're dealing with a super smart scientist and probably the most intelligent monster. Now that I know he's an intelligent monster, like, it's a formidable foe. Like, you got to kind of have a lot of stuff to nerf him. So you got the freaking whole army, you got the whole Toadman aliens trying to abduct aliens, and he sloshes through both of them with ease in one issue. It's pretty impressive, really.
Listen, Marvel gets better as the years go on. Okay, I'm just saying that this particular issue was not exactly Stan's best.
It's a bit weak, yeah.
No, it's just like whenever the Flash did the Indian rope trick, like, that wasn't super intelligent either.
No,
No.
I'm not saying it's comics.
Or what was so dumb about this besides them not knowing it was him? What was so dumb about it?
So the problem was they set up things and then they didn't resolve those.
Like
they
what?
just sort of set them up without kind of, and then those are like, for example, the Toadmen are invading. Okay,
Yes.
like they're taking over the world, and then they are for some reason worried about what's going on with the Hulk. Like,
and here's another thing that I will say about the Toadmen. Their king looked like a jack from a deck of cards with that hat. He didn't look like a king.
I don't feel like they were like waiting or worried about the Hulk. I think it just took them a day to get there. Like, you had your first few people that were going to invade, and then the rest of the colony was coming. So I didn't see the whole holdup or anything. I just felt like,
well, they were literally bringing the moon to the Earth and a whole bunch of other crazy things that would, to me, be very pressing in terms of.
And again, I agree with what Son of Crom is saying. Like, it's early Marvel. It's like it's his second appearance. They still needed to know what to do with it. Just
Yeah.
same with the Fantastic Four. It took them about a year, and then things got really good.
They figured
got
him out. I
they
really
figured him
think that
out.
they didn't know what to do with the character. Like, did they
Exactly.
want to? They almost made him like a Frankenstein kind of monster kind of character.
It was almost
where he'd
like
go
every
around
monster
smashing things.
combined. Yeah.
Mhm. They got better. It's not a question of
I don't know that this was actually bad. I'm not going to label this bad. I think it was pretty good.
If you
for
look
me.
at my score, I gave it like an average book. Like, I didn't like.
Yeah. See, I
don't
think it was
it's
still better than
trash.
average,
I just
though.
said it's like.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not saying it's bad or average. I think it was better than average for me, but that's okay. Y'all feel that way. Average is okay for Alan, and you gave us some decent scores too, like above average for Matt. Matt gave it higher score than Alan. And
overall,
D,
you gave the overall score higher. I gave it 2.7.
the only thing you was higher was the story. Everything else he was higher. So
yeah.
D was the lowest, I was the highest. So it was all right. I'll add it
It
up.
sort of
No big
balances
deal.
out.
And it's just a question of I think it's better, but see, Lee gets toned down a little too when when the Marvel method finally kicks in. Lee gets a little more leeway because he sees what the panels are and then writes better. I think in this case it was a script by Lee first, and then because that's what Fantastic Four was. It was a script by Lee that they went by.
Mm-hmm.
I was clearly too rewarding for the Flash book than y'all are for the Hulk 2, obviously. I could have gave it a lot less.
I think the Flash book was better written.
I don't.
But
I think the second Flash book was better written, not the first
Doesn't
one.
matter. All these books pale in comparison to Zombie Tramp.
Yeah, we'll have to do. I'm actually thinking of books for the future. There's a few that I'm going to introduce you guys to that are pretty insane that I think you'll like.
Is it Treehouse of Horror?
No, I was going to say Crossed, something like that, which would be crazy.
All right, I'm almost done.
Yeah, but we got to do this next one, this Avengers. I can't remember what the first Avengers versus one was like.
It's the one where it ends with them coming to the DC Earth. And
Oh
them.
yeah. I remember. I remember now. It's like this Nemesis prayer, whatever, the evil bad guy is destroying all the universes.
Yeah.
And now we got to figure out what to do. We got to collect all the doodads in order to save mankind.
49.25. You guys were vicious.
49.25. Okay.
That's what I got. I don't know if that's right. That sounds stupid low. 24, 25, 35.75. No, it's 49.25. Yeah. Okay.
49.25 divided.
Like Hulk 1 would have gotten a better score. It was
Maybe.
a better book.
Maybe. I would hope.
It's still 61.5%.
Yeah, it's above average.
So it was okay. What was it?
49.25.
49.25. Let me write that down while I update the
49.25.
X-Men 1, Lady F. Do we dare knock off a couple of the top 100 before we get out of here? Maybe 10 minutes worth.
It's up to you guys.
If
I can
it's
do
Matt,
whatever I
don't
want.
care.
It's my birthday. Nobody can complain about me.
Okay, let's see here. So Hulk 2, it's in the lower half, but it's in the middle of the pack at 49.25. So it's in the area where between Scrooge and X Factor 92 and Wolverine 75 and Action Annual 1.
I tried Hulk 2. It's not my fault. That's a shitty company for Hulk 2, but okay, whatever. That was fucking rough day.
I mean, my Uncle Scrooge one I really like. Oh, yeah, thank you. Lyle says happy 29th birthday to me. Thank you, Lyle.
29, yeah.
Yeah,
Aren't you a comic brand this year?
Am I?
You're the new 52, aren't you?
I am the new 52.
Oh, the
Instead of
newest
the old
52.
52. I'm the new 52.
I'm an old 44. Al or Matt, can you get to the list, or do you want to wait till some other time?
Well, I'm thinking that we tried it without D, and D's going to work. He was able to join us the last time, but he's
I
going
think
to
we'll
work.
get a better list. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm not mad not if D ain't here. We can do it out D.
Is Bleak around?
We could do it without with just us three. We're good. We can't always have 4 or 5. We're just gonna do it with 3 people some days.
Well, I was going to say, are we meeting this Friday?
We're meeting
Yeah,
this Friday.
We're gonna meet this Friday, but I still want
How
to get
much
out
do we
of
have
here.
left to do? I can't have that much
Well,
left to do.
I mean,
Well,
we got
we
a
are
lot.
in the S's. We're in the S's.
Yeah, we're not even.
But it's an Excel. How many numbers and then how many left after that?
We got like 40 left.
Just a second here. We have starting with shock suspense stories is 106 on the sheet. We have 40 to go.
Yeah, that's a lot, bro. Because once we get to through the 40, let's just knock out 10 of them just to feel like we did something. 10 or 15.
Okay.
And then, yeah, I think it's better than going into
Let's do
Friday
all
with
these
40.
books. Matt, that makes sense.
Well, the
Superman
next
is coming.
The next one is shock suspense stories 6.
Yes.
Oh, that's an awesome book.
Yeah, that's the Ku Klux Klan. Yes.
That's the
Yeah,
Ku
that's
Klux Klan
3.
one, and the
That's
girl.
3. I think all 3 of
That's
us
a Wally
are.
Wood cover.
Yeah, that gets 3 stars.
And I think D would go for it, but sorry, not D. That
Bleak?
Bleak would go
Bleaker.
for it.
Yeah, we'll just leave them out of it for now because we can't assume
So-
for everybody. We'll go 3. That's
Give
a
it
good
5
score.
star.
No. Go 3. We're gonna go over these again later with more people. It'll be all right.
Yeah,
It's
3.
in.
Okay, so Showcase 79 is next.
I'm not
Oh, I
familiar.
love that book. Yes, 3. That's a star for me. That's the
Indulge.
dolphin cover.
Oh, that's
Oh,
the
I don't.
cover?
About
Yeah,
giving.
I'm definitely in.
I'm a no.
Hmm,
So we'll go 2.
okay.
2.
It's-
Showcase 4, yes.
Showcase 4, sure.
There's the one that they said yes to. Showcase 4.
Showcase
That's
4 is
First Flash.
First Flash.
We don't have hardly any Kubert, so I'll say yes. 3 star.
Silver Surfer 1.
Yes. I'm gonna keep my book alive. Better than those 2 by a fucking mile. Even better than Shock Suspense 3.
Silver
guys
Surfer
are
1 is a
nuts.
cool cover. I give you that.
You guys are nuts. This is the book they're having a problem with putting on top 100,
So the
guys.
problem is,
Look at that. They have a
It's
problem
a
with putting
nice
that.
cover, but 4 is better.
So what if 4
4
is better? 1 is good enough to
That's
be
why
on.
it bothers me. That's why I'm
It's
like, oh.
comparable to fucking 4. Some people like 1 better, like me. Doc likes it better. There's a few people that like Surfer 1 more than
Yeah, I would
4.
go for 4. Like, I don't want to.
4 is the top 5 ever, dude. 1 is comparable. You guys are nuts. All right.
Okay,
1.
I'm gonna
You know what? I will say yes to the 1.
I
Really?
mean,
It's a
I'm
great
have
cover.
to.
But I just want
But-
4 more than it, so that's why.
And,
I know
and we
it's,
will put
There-
3 for 4 right now.
okay. We got 4. 4 is next, right?
No, well, there's 1 and then 4, yes, because I'm going to say for 4, I think we're all in agreement.
Yeah, 4 should
I'm-
be on the list.
I'm willing to say both of them deserve to be on a list, but if I was going to pick 1, I'd pick 1. I wouldn't even pick 4.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
well,
I'd pick 4.
I'm going to take
I
both
pick
of them, but I'm just saying I like 1 better.
next up is Spectacular Spider-Man 101.
Oh, that's D's
Oh, that's
book.
the black and white one.
Yeah.
Oh, no, yeah, you're right. That's
It's
the
the
one.
negative space cover.
Is that Burn or something?
Yeah, I
think
think
that's
it's Burn.
Burn.
You're right. I think
Yeah,
you're right
yeah.
on that.
Some people like
That's a really
this.
cool cover.
I don't like it as much as Surfer 1. I know that.
I'd actually agree with you, Biggie, on that.
I mean, of course. Fucking Surfer 1 is awesome. I don't know what y'all
Silver
think.
One is a great cover, but
This is okay. I
this is a
mean,
cool cover too. It's cool in its own way. Oh,
it's
like-
on the cusp of being on the list. I don't think it quite makes it. I'm going to say no.
I'm going to say yes.
I'm gonna actually say yes. I know,
Yeah,
sorry,
no
that
problems with
sounds
this book, but
contradictory.
Surfer 1. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. But
Next up, Speed
Yeah.
Comics 35.
which one?
Speed Comics 35.
Oh, that's one of the ones I chose just as a fun cover. That's the one with her like being black cat and
Yeah.
she's being dangled
I got it.
down.
She's got armpit hair or some shit. I'm out.
It's not. Yeah. Okay. It's not armpit hair, but it is.
It's
I'm
very
gonna-
armpit hair like.
I'll be willing to let that go.
Look at those fucking legs on the guys.
I like it, but we have a lot of covers similar to it.
I love the acid
know, that's the
bath and
problem.
shit. It's
That's
very
why I'm saying
Schumberg
no
like.
to
Is
it.
that
I'm
Schumberg?
actually saying no to one I love. Actually, I love
Yes,
that.
and I'm saying no as well.
Okay,
I
so it
gotta
gets
say.
0 stars.
Okay,
See,
it's out.
that's a great cover though.
It's good cover. Yeah, it's better than probably the fucking.
Next
better than
up,
Silver Surfer
19,
one.
the McFarlane Spider-Man 1.
No for me.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna say no.
It's not that great.
It's okay. It's one of those ones people are like, oh, that should be on there. I don't think so.
No,
I like the Gleason more.
there's better
I
covers.
like it more when it's in the silver or gold version.
Yeah, the silver one's the best. I think you're right.
Yeah, the silver doesn't look bad. But I think the best of them that McFarlane did, wasn't he the one that did the Venom one with the skull, where it's like the Shakespeare kind of thing?
Oh no, that's Larson.
That's Larson. Okay.
Yeah. Shout out to Larson. I just got Savage Dragon 100 pager today. It's fucking sweet.
Oh, nice.
It's so cool. Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah. So are you gonna say yes on that?
I'm going to say 0.
Yeah,
0.
0. Fuck it.
Okay, good.
I'm
Next up is a yes from me, Spirit 22.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Well, that was easy.
Yes. Anybody that don't think that should be on a list is an ass.
There, and then the following is Star Wars 1, 1977.
No.
I just like it. I think it's a cool cover.
I'm a yes for that.
Yeah.
I'm a no.
And what I like about it is because this book came out before the movie,
Mhm.
and you didn't quite know, because it was based on the screenplay, you didn't quite know what the characters were going to look like. So the interpretation of it is pretty good for what's not there. Luke is pretty much, but I mean, everybody knew what Mark Hamill looked like. But no one knew exactly what hairstyle Carrie Fisher was going to have, so she doesn't have the buns.
Mhm.
And Darth Vader looks a little different than he did on
I'm
screen.
gonna tell y'all like this: the Star Wars 1 comic, not that great. That one, the movie adaptation, I would
I know
go
the
for
movie adaptation one. Actually, the
It's
reverse
better.
of it is better. The back cover is really awesome.
that. Oh, the back cover, I didn't know about that, but just the
Yeah.
front cover is better to me than the first comic.
The first print there, I say yes.
But that's a magazine, so both of them are out.
I'm gonna say
me.
yes. Because it is an iconic cover. and
I
it's
actually
a crazy
watched a
cover.
video this afternoon just after work, and it was just before I made supper, where it was talking about the cool things about the Star Wars early comics, like the first 3 or 4. And that was one of the things that I really liked because they pointed out the cover things, and it was like, yeah, that's pretty cool.
So give it 2 stars.
Yeah, we'll go 2. It
I
earned
don't
it.
think it would get any more than that. I don't think anyone else would agree.
I'm sure
Next
Bleeker would, but he's not here, and we don't want to add it.
Next up is going to get 3. It's Startling Comics 49.
Oh
Yeah, I'll go for that.
that's
That's
the
a
Bender cover.
that's a top 5 good girl golden age to me.
Yeah. So yes.
Next up, we have Submariner 1.
Yeah.
It's golden age.
Yeah, that's the one with the
Yes,
Nazi
that's
flag.
the
first
Golden
Nazi
Age one.
flag.
That's my favorite Submariner cover. I'll go yes, absolutely. That's the one I suggested, by the way. So
Yeah,
thank you.
good suggestion.
3 as well. Me. Submariner Comics 11.
Yes.
Oh.
I actually really like that one. It's the one with the dragon.
Yeah, I think that's going to be cool on the top
Really
100.
love that
People
cover.
people will get to that book and they'll be like, "What is this?" And then they'll say, "Well, I can't say it's bad." So I'm going to say yes.
Okay, well, I will also say yes because it's pretty cool looking.
Yeah.
Okay, just so you know, we've done 13 books so far.
Okay.
All right, we're zipping
Pop out
through. I'm
7
kind of
more. Go.
aiming for the hour mark. We got 5 minutes.
Next up, we have Sun Girl 1. I'm a big yes. I love that girl. She's awesome.
I love that girl. Hold on.
It's
Let
a
me
really
delete-
actually it's a really nice cover.
Those
I'm looking at
legs.
it now.
It's
Those legs go
better.
on for three. Those legs go on for 3 comic covers.
Yeah.
It's better than
Those legs make me think of Lululemon.
Okay,
Uh,
I'm not
you
gonna
know
go
what?
for it though. I'm actually there's better covers out there that makes the top
Okay.
cover for me.
yeah. I didn't
I
want to
love
say
it though.
it.
Actually, it's a great cover. I do
Well,
love it.
I'm saying yes, so I'm giving it a 1.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a 1-star.
I mean, the way the legs are done is really awesome.
It's better
Yeah.
than a few, some of the other ones for
To
sure.
be honest, I don't know what else is on the cover because I don't stop.
Well,
looking
yeah,
at
the legs is the focal point.
She's
Her
I know.
chest isn't well done though. If you
No.
look at her chest, it's kind of a little bit
I'll
square.
take your word for it. I can't get past the legs. All right. So next up, we've got Superman 14. Big yes from me.
Yeah. I go yes on that one. Superman 14. That's
It's
iconic.
not one of my top 10 Superman covers, so
It's the one with the flag and the
It's the shield.
yeah,
With the tank in the back.
shield. Yeah, shield flag. Yeah. And
I'll
then
go for
you
it,
said there
though.
was a tank, but you can barely see it.
You
But
can barely see it because it's black on black, but it was done on purpose that way.
I don't see. Oh, the tank. Yeah, I know. I see it.
Yeah, like it was done on purpose because apparently when they first printed it, it fades over time. But it looked really cool when it first came off the.
it's a really iconic one with him with the
Yeah.
eagle on his arm.
I'm a little nervous because the next one's going to be one I think is way better than that.
Did we-
I'm
did we
afraid.
get that
Superman
2 stars or did we give that
199 is
3?
next.
Where's 23?
It's next. They when I did the list, it puts them by number. Like all the numbers that start with 1 go, and then all the numbers that start.
Oh,
With, so Superman 199 is next. Superman 23 is after that.
Okay, so what's
um,
199? That's the
That's
break
the
of
race.
chains?
That's the race. That's a big yes from me. I'm wearing the T-shirt.
you can't get out
I
of
mean,
it.
iconic covers. I guess that would be kind of one of the most iconic covers.
See, been
It's
there.
not a bad one.
Lots
I'll
of
go
people.
yes. I'll go
I'll go
yes.
yes too, actually.
Yeah, fuck it. That's
You
not
sort
bad.
of won me over on that one, Matt. I was kind of against it, but I kind of.
Oh, I love that one. It's like as I said, it's probably one of my favorite books of all time. Like,
Well,
period.
but yeah, I mean, it's more about the iconic race
It's
thing.
not just that. It's actually pretty cool about how they do all this stuff to make sure the race ends in a tie, so nobody
Well,
gets.
but that's
like
not
there's
about
all
the
the
cover. You
gamblers-
gotta talk about the cover, Matt.
Yeah, well, I know, but the cover itself is just so dynamic. You've got Carmine Infantino doing the Flash. You've got Kurt Swan doing Superman.
Mhm.
They got the 2 best artists for these characters, and then Carmine Infantino draws the rest of the background. So it was like
Yeah,
he
it's
did
good.
Alfred and all the other ones. Like it's
Mm.
just it's amazing. It's a great cover, and I'll shut up now. All right, Superman 23 is next. Yes,
Yeah, I really like that cover.
It's way better than 14 and 199, dude.
I would actually agree with you, Biggie.
Way better to me. It may not be as well known, but I think that it would look
No,
good on the list.
it's great.
the next one is iconic, but I'm probably going to say no. Superman 233, the Neil Adams one with the kryptonite.
No,
I always was
No.
bothered by the leg. The leg looks too short to me.
I've never really even wanted this book. I don't care about him busting the chain. I mean, if I'm gonna do that, let me go for the Superman 6 or 9 or something. Like this ain't shit.
So
I mean,
it's
it's iconic, and I love it, but I don't think
there's a
it's
golden age version of it too.
Yeah, that's the one I like better. Yeah.
So we said no to that one then.
Yeah, so I think we're all saying, well, that one before I completely put out, we'll see what D and because I think D really liked that one.
Yeah,
don't
his
think he
leg
did.
is too short. If
I
you
don't-
look
I
at
don't
his
know
leg,
who
the
liked that,
proportion's
but-
not right.
I think it was on the top 100, and maybe
Now-
one of us gave it a star.
Here's the question, because there are 2 covers to this one, Superman 75. And the reason I say that is because there's the Tombstone cover, and then there's the cover
The
where he
flag
got
with one.
the where it looks like his cape is a flag.
It's absolutely the flag with the cape. It's
I'm gonna
not.
say no to this one.
You guys are nuts.
It's another iconic cover.
I'm going to say yes.
I'm saying absolutely.
I'm gonna say no though.
Wow.
It's an iconic cover. I give you that.
It is one of the most recognizable books ever. Like, no doubt about it. So that's 5 stars for me. But no, go ahead. We got 2. 2's better than 1.
Next up is Tales to Astonish 93.
That was what I recommended. I think
What
it
is
is.
that one?
You'll recognize it when I show it. It's the Silver Surfer with the Hulk, Mary Severn.
Oh, that one where he's kind of holding. the
Yes.
Hulk. Yeah. No. I like it too. That I actually have that book. But
Yeah, but I'm gonna say no as well.
I think this is way better than the
it's
Flash.
better than 50.
It's better than the Flash
FF50.
Superman race. What the hell's 50?
FF50. I'm just.
Oh
joking.
yeah, that's way better than that. This is a top 5 Severn cover. I'm gonna say yes, so I'm gonna keep it alive. 1 star.
Okay.
Next up is Tomb of Terror 15.
All right, we'll do one more after this.
Oh,
Terror-
Tomb of Terror 15. Yes, that's the head exploding one.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. Yeah.
That's a top.
Top
code
5
horror cover.
free code. I'll go yes. Last book.
Turtles Raphael 1.
That's a magazine. Disqualified.
Yeah, we're
Is it really?
disqualifying those ones. Yeah, so that's
Okay.
disqualified.
So
All right.
out.
That makes it easy, actually. Good one there.
So thank you guys so much. I really had a lot of fun arguing with you guys. You guys are sweethearts putting up with my bitching. You guys are just We
I
all
like the
got-
fact
we-
that you're diehard for Silver Surfer 1. I think that's actually a great cover. So
dude, one of Buscema's best, dude. Like name five better Buscema covers.
well, I like the ones in Submariner. His Submariner.
Which
covers are
one?
Amazing.
Which one's better than Surfer 1?
I like what's the one with Tiger Shark?
I don't think that's even close. Like Submariner
such a
1's
cool
the best
cover.
one. Right? Subby 1?
There's some really great Buscema
Isn't
covers.
Submariner 1 just similar to Iron Man 1, only with a different
They all look like the same
they all
premiere.
look the same. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. No, for me, like
issue
the top,
8? Son of Crom is saying the issue 8 is
Issue
the
8. I just forgot the numbers. Yeah.
what number? Oh, that's the one with Tiger Shark. Yeah.
It's a great cover.
It's okay. It's pretty good. It's kind of goofy with the head fin and all the shit on it. When you really look at it and break it down, there's some weirdness to it. But the one with the sorcerer, the red cover, that's one of my favorites.
Yeah, there's some really good ones in that.
That's a
little
good
run.
one. I
Yeah,
like
that's what I'm
that
saying.
one. So my top 5 Buscema covers, real quick before we get out of here. Surfer 1, Surfer 4, Avengers 57, and I don't know, maybe Submariner 1. Like those are the top 4 to me. What are yours?
I don't know. There's
I-
a bunch
Exactly.
in the
And,
Submariner run that I like.
Honestly, I haven't done enough Marvel to know which ones.
You guys are Marvel deficient. I'm going to defend Kirby to
no,
end
no,
the days.
I like a lot of the Submariner ones. I just don't know the numbers offhand.
My problem is that the books that I like in Marvel, such as Fantastic Four, Kirby did for a long time. Like I really like Fantastic. I don't have as many Marvels that I've got into as like others. I'm not sure who did Son of Satan because he didn't have regular artists for a while.
I don't know why
Some of the
nobody's
Titans
showing
ones
this
are
book.
nice.
Here's another thing before we go. I don't want to fuck it up. Oh, this is my slab. Where the hell is it? Here we go. Nope, I can't find it. Anyways, FF Annual 2 kind of looks like this, but I don't know why I haven't seen anybody show the full FF1 facsimile yet. And this book has to be one of the longest going runs with the in-between issue. The last issue of Snot Girl came out like 2 years ago, and they're continuing the run this year.
Wow.
It's number 17. So that's kind of weird. Number 16 was where they came back. But
It took a while to get. It took a while to clear her nose.
yeah, she had some
Yeah, I
boogers
guess
there.
so.
All right. Well, we'll be back Friday. I'll talk to you guys a little bit backstage. I got some things we'll clear up. And thank you guys very much for popping on.
Hey.
Happy birthday to Alan. Matt, you're the shit. Thank you for keeping track of our list. Really appreciate
No
that.
problem.
See y'all next week with the Avengers versus JL.